Alright, hey guys, so we're back again with our next product comparison and doing the research so you don't have to. So check this out. We have three 12-inch electric snow shovels from Ryobi, Ego, and Greenworks, of course. So I wanted to go through the specs here, so whether you're looking to buy one, you just want a quick comparison guide, this might be for you. Just go through some of the specs, and I'm going to go through some of the more commonly found reviews that I found through different sites, and within the last year, right? Wanted to make it relevant somewhat because if companies are making changes in their products, those reviews may not be relevant. So let's take a look here. Now they're all going to be very similar, of course, with some different features and specs, of course. So the Ryobi 12-inch, Ego 12, and Greenworks 12. Look at the height differences, right? The Ryobi's got 36 inches of height. Now, one thing to note about that, it's got the wheels on it, right? Underneath here, I put some extra features that they have. It has the wheels on it, so that might be a little bit different, or yeah, noticeably different as to why the other ones are a little bit, taller, 53 and 58 inches. So they're all going to be a little bit different in shape. Intake height. Your Ryobi's got 6 inches, 12 inches Ego, and Greenworks has 8. So they're all a little bit different in that regard, specifically. Weight, they're all about the same. Now, this weight listed here is without the battery, so keep in mind, add about 3 to 4 pounds, for the battery, just depending on what size battery you're going with, right? This right here is wheels, right? So the only one that has a wheels option is the Ryobi. And a lot of people say that that helps prevent user fatigue, and it's obvious for obvious reasons, right? Makes it a little bit easier to work with, because if it's, you're lugging around this 20-pound machine and it's got no wheels and you're going back and forth, yeah, it could, I could see how one would get tired, right? The throw distance, 25 feet is pretty standard on all these. A lot of them do say that they throw the snow pretty well. Run time, 35 to 40 minutes for the Ryobi. Greenworks 35 to 45. Ego doesn't say runtime. I couldn't find it. Now they're all going to say something different, right? Runtime. Now, how charged are the batteries? How old are the batteries? Those types of factors kind of play into it as well. And then, of course, what battery you're using specifically. But Ego didn't really say runtime on their site. It said something like, you can clear like a 3-car driveway up to 6 inches on the battery. So that doesn't really tell you much. I thought that was kind of odd. What are they trying to hide, Recharge time, the Ryobi batteries take a while to recharge. Of course, if it's completely bone dry, yeah, it's going to take a lot longer, right? And then how old the batteries are, if they're brand new, etc. The Greenworks, pretty quick charge on that. 30 to 40 minutes is kind of what I saw. Now, different motor types. The Ryobi is a brushed motor, so keep that in mind. It's not going to be as efficient. It's probably going to be noisier. It may not have as long of a lasting life as the other ones. And then, so like I said, the other two are brushless. Now, looking at the auger specs in here and the impeller, right? Now, they're all some form of plastic. Okay, so the Greenworks says polypropylene, but that's just a fancy word for plastic, right? Now, they're all the same. They're all the same material. It's not some high-end material that's gonna, guard against any kind of protection whatsoever, like rocks and cement, things like that. Uneven terrain, I guess, depending on what you're working with. And then the chute on here. Now, they don't really have a chute on these, of course, because, it's like a stick. It reminds me of like a stick vacuum, right? But they do have, depending on which model you're going with, the Ryobi doesn't have any directional chute, so it just goes straight out, right? So you can see how that may be really inefficient, depending on, kind of where you're working with and where you're going to be blowing that snow. But you can't even direct it in a certain manner. It's kind of odd to me, but, hey, it's not the top of the line model, right? Now, with the Ego, it's got a 60-degree, 30 degrees in each direction. And then the Greenworks also has it with this specific model. The models are listed here. It's got the directional chutes on here. They're called the vines, or vanes. I think they're vanes. And then the price, they're all the same, pretty much, roughly, right? These are all with battery and charger. Of course, the Ryobi was like $100 less, just for the tool-only option. But a lot of these Ego and Greenworks, there's a few different models that you have to look at because they're all very similar, and some of the pages have specs that are a little bit different from each. So sometimes it's kind of hard to find, the exact specs. So it does take some research to do that. And then the warranty, they're all based on tool plus the battery, 5 and 3. 5 and 3 is pretty common, and then the Greenworks is 4-year plus, tool plus battery. So those are the specs. The Greenworks, you get a lot for your money with that one. You get the shoulder strap. It's not shown here, but that's what it said it came with. The LED light, which is on the front here, comes with the hinge shaft. Okay, so you can fold it for easy storage. Same thing with the Ego. You can fold that for easy storage as well. So the adjustable handle on both. Now with the Ego, it does say that it's made out of a IPX4 specific weather rated construction, so it's just going to be a little bit more durable and longer lasting, and that's pretty much that. So now we're going to go to the reviews, right? So what are people saying about it? Now, kind of gathered a lot of different reviews, different sources, most recently specifically. Now Ryobi is always going to have the most, because they have a lot more reviews, so you're going to find more things wrong with it just naturally, right? The Ryobi, what are people saying? No directional throw. Again, like I said, just goes straight. So hopefully you're not blowing in the neighbors, right? The housing and skid plate do show signs of wear within like 2 years, but I don't know how rough you are on it, right? So who really knows? The assembly, they say, was a little bit more time consuming, a lot more parts, I guess. The tilt, right? So you have to tilt this thing specifically a certain angle. That's probably common with all these, right? So people are complaining about that. Same thing with the Ego. And as far as like a manual, these companies aren't even giving manuals anymore. Maybe they realize there's so much garbage. They just want you to scan something, get your information right, and make you register for the warranty or whatever the case may be. Warranty registration or just registering your product. I don't know. Who knows what other kind of information they take, but you have to sign up for this or scan your QR code. I've seen that before, so it's not an easy process, I guess. They say there's no hooks on it. Well, I don't think any of them really have hooks on it unless you have, a nail on the wall like I do and just, hang it up that way. Now this one's funny. So it said no snow yet. We haven't had snow, but I'm going to give it a review anyways. Well, how can you? Unless it's just you're talking about the assembly and stuff like that, but. I like how people are saying, "Oh, I'll adjust my review once it snows." Well, okay. Just thought that was kind of funny, seeing some of that. Warranty claims, issues, and the customer support's not the greatest. And then people were complaining that if you're taller, trying to use the Ryobi, you might have issues because you're hunched over more, even if it's got the wheels on it, right, to give you more leverage and support at least. But, hey, whatever. The Ego, again, no wheels on that. The scraper bar at the top or the bottom jams against the asphalt or cement, I guess, if it's unlevel or uneven. So you need to readjust it and tilt it a certain way. It's just the way the machine is. So people are saying it's a little bit heavier. But they're saying that the Greenworks is actually the heaviest. Most complaints about that. On the Ego, the chute position, they say it's 30 degrees each direction, right, or whatever, 60 total degrees. But some people are saying it's a lot less than that. There's no throw height adjustment. So once you start working it, what you get is what you get out of it. The plastic auger breaks pretty easily. Yeah, okay, I can see that happening with this plastic stuff. So if rocks get in there and starts spinning, and yeah, that stuff's going to break and damage. So a couple complaints about that. On the Greenworks, like I said, it's the heaviest. Some rock jams as well. And then the trigger position is awkward for hand placement as well. So you have to kind of, be mindful of that, I guess. Battery removal difficult. They're saying that it kind of sticks after a while, so it's a little harder to pull up. And again, no manual on that. So what else is new? But that's it for now. Check out the other video I just posted yesterday on more snowblowers, and then the day before that for gas snowblowers. So stay tuned for more. We'll post more of these videos here shortly. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.